Hello and welcome. My name's David Thompson from Certis Group Accountants. Over the next few weeks, we're going to be bringing you a series of videos that are going to give you some practical tips and techniques to survive and thrive through this present crisis. These videos are for our clients and, in fact, for anybody in Australia who's under stress, and that's pretty much everybody right now. We'll be doing 3 videos every week, and each one is going to be completely packed with critical information and practical techniques that you can use to keep your head above water. So to kick off, first of all, we're going to be talking about cash flow, because right now cash is king. And to help me do that, I had a discussion earlier today with Dean Marinac from iGeneration. Now, Dean is one of Australia's leading consultants to small business, and we talked about cash flow. Let's take a look. Hi, Dean. Welcome, and thanks for coming on, and I'm looking forward to this interview.
Absolute pleasure. Great to be here.
Let's start by talking about cash flow. Cash flow is critically important for businesses, and it's something that we really need to get on top of at this moment.
I think there's no doubt that the flow of money through the business at the moment is now at a critical stage for a lot of businesses. We've already heard about a lot of the devastation that's going on in the business community. So,
sure have,
it's great to have this opportunity to spend a bit of time with you and basically tap your brain about what businesses can do to shore themselves up for the future.
Yeah. So the first thing that I think that businesses need to do is have a rough and ready cash flow plan.
Mm-hmm.
Now, a lot of businesses feel that having a cash flow forecast at a time like this is pretty much a useless thing because you can't predict the future. But that kind of misses the point about what a cash flow forecast is for. Cash flow forecasts, they're not like forecasting the winner of the Melbourne Cup or what the weather is going to be like tomorrow. They're actually a working tool. And the purpose of them is to enable you to try and make decisions in the correct way and still understand what your decision's impact is going to be on the cash flow of the business.
Yeah, absolutely.
And this is something that we can help you with. We're very experienced in putting together cash flow forecasts. Again, they are not big, complicated documents. They're fairly straightforward to understand.
Mm-hmm.
And the more complicated they are, the less useful they always are. Because, like I said, they're not about forecasting. They're a tool to help you understand how to make decisions correctly. We can get them together for you pretty quickly. The most important part is to get in the key variables, the things that are actually going to make a difference to your business and your cash flow.
So on that, David, sorry to interrupt, but on that, the forecast obviously is going to give us the opportunity to see into the future as to what the impact might be of things that are happening around us. So there's some scenario building, some what if analysis and so forth that you can run through with your clients. Fair to say?
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yep.
Yeah. So what is it that businesses can do then to keep that sort of cash coming in?
There's a variety of different things that they can do. And the first thing to understand is how cash actually flows through a business. Let's think about what we can do about cash coming in. First of all, you've got to make sure that you're shoring up your own position with your customers. It may be the case that with some customers, you need to start taking deposits if you haven't done that before. Sometimes you need to start taking payment fully in advance. Mm-hmm. Some of your customers won't be accustomed to doing that, but everybody knows that this is in the midst of a crisis, and it's just going to be the case that people will have to expect that, and that's just how it's going to have to be for the time being. From the point of view of cash going out, there's a few things you can do there. You can start looking at things like your rent. As we all know, when we look at the news, landlords are having to make they're going to have to take a haircut. The fact of the matter is that a rental property is an investment. Investments are not without risks. Next thing you can
What about suppliers?
Yeah, suppliers are really important. With your suppliers, you've kind of got to do what hospitals do, which is triage. That is, rank your suppliers in order of importance. Make yourself a list of the most critical suppliers that you need to keep the doors open in the business. It's a fact of life that some relationships are going to get strained in this situation.
And there's a bit of strain going on with the banks at the moment too. So
a hell of a lot of strain.
What about the banks?
There's a hell of a lot of strain going on with the banks, and we're going to be doing a whole separate episode just on how to deal with the banks. But
Mm-hmm.
all of the banks at the moment are putting out bulletins explaining on how to approach them.
Mm-hmm.
Many of the banks are going to be offering moratoriums or holidays on repayments of loans, interest holidays. Again, the banks are like any other supplier; they just supply cash. They know which way is up, and they know they have to look after their customers. The purse strings open from the Reserve Bank. They have money to lend, so they can extend overdrafts. They can do repayment holidays if that's what you ask for. But you've got to get on the front foot and get in touch with them.
Yep. Now, what about the ATO? I mean, obviously, you're an expert in dealing with the ATO and the financial circumstances of all of your clients and so on.
Exactly.
So, there's a lot of information that's coming out slowly. That's coming out now into the marketplace. What are the ATO saying? What are they doing?
The Department of Finance has got whole new rules for the ATO. There's a string of special concessions for people who have got employees, PAYG withholding concessions. And again, we'll be doing a special episode just on that to make sure that everybody gets everything that they're entitled to. The other aspect of the ATO is that it's just common sense that at this point in time, the ATO do not have their foot on the pedal when it comes to debt collection. That doesn't mean you can go willy-nilly racking up gigantic tax debts, but if you do have one, and you're likely to have one in the future, you can be reasonably comfortable that the ATO is probably going to be the least of your problems for some length of time. And there are good operational reasons in the ATO for that, and also good political reasons for it too.
So what about these episodes you've just been talking about?
Yeah, Dean, we're going to be doing a series of episodes, at least 3 a week for the next few weeks for sure. They'll be going to be dealing with a range of topical issues right now, including things like the ATO incentives that I've already mentioned, how that works in detail, more information about how to manage your cash flow, but also other important things about keeping your business alive and thriving. And those will be things like keeping your team engaged, the really ugly question of how to deal with layoffs if that's something that you have to do, how to maintain constant communication with your clients, and how to make the best out of a crisis. Never waste a good crisis. There always are opportunities in there.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, David, it sounds like you've lined up a series of really practical, relevant, important, and very timely topics to help your clients and also the community at large through this very, very difficult situation. So thank you for allowing me to actually listen in and hear a little bit about what you're doing. I really appreciate the information, and everyone that sees this should also reach out to you, I would suggest, and have a conversation about any and every topic that is on their mind right now.
Thanks for that, Dean, and we'll get you back on the show in a few episodes.
Sounds awesome. See you then.
Bye now.
Bye-bye.
Well, I hope you all got something important out of that. So just to recap on the key issues, number 1, stay on top of your revenue. Make sure you get paid by people that you're selling things to. Take deposits, take payment in advance. Number 2, as far as money going out is concerned, stay on top of your situation with your creditors. You may need to prioritise people, and you'll know who can drop off the list and who can't. Number 3, stay on top of your situation with your bank. Make that phone call. At the moment, they're being very receptive to people. As far as the tax office is concerned, they're going pretty soft-footed. No major causes for concern. Same thing with the rent. You can put the squeeze on your landlords. But above all, you've got to have a cash flow forecast, because if you don't have that fundamental tool, you're going to be running pretty much blind. We can help you with that. So, hope you enjoyed the first episode. Ran a little bit long. The others are going to be much shorter. We'll be doing 3 of these every week. And remember to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon, as they say. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video.